We'll stay under mostly cloudy skies here. Highs climb to around 72. Tonight, remaining cloudy. Lows fall back to around 58 with the chance of scattered showers and storms developing late on Thursday. Cloud cover, highs into the upper 70s. On Thursday night, showers and storms likely. Lows bottom off to around 62 degrees with showers and storms on tap for your Friday and a high near 74. Spotty showers possible late Saturday, 76. I'm Derek Dolman with the WSGW Weatherology forecast. Right now, 58.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, good morning and welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Thanks to Charlie and Pat for filling in for me yesterday while I was doing one of my favorite things, introducing the award winners at the Saginaw Fire Department annual awards ceremony. And great turnout. Congratulations to all those firefighters and civilians who and others who helped the Saginaw Fire Department were honored yesterday. And congratulations to Fire Marshal Darren Sadowski for being the Firefighter of the Year. Later on, after the 9 o'clock news, after the 10 o'clock news, I should say, we'll have open phones for you. And at 11 o'clock, a company called Medicare Choices will be the subject of focus. But for the first part of this hour, we're going to find out what's happening in the city of Midland, because with us this morning is the city manager. We say good morning to Brad Kaye. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. It's a pleasure to be back with you as always.
Always look forward to the conversation because there's always something going on in Midland. So what's new from the last time we talked?
Oh, well, there's always new stuff going on. So obviously, although the weather's kind of lying to us a little bit, it is fall, so we're trying to squeeze in as much as we can before summer ends, and we're not quite ready to give up the summer activities. So we're busy downtown. Our social district and our commons is still live and active, and we're looking forward to a lot of people still coming into town and enjoying themselves before winter really gets here and we all go back into our homes and don't see each other as much for a while.
Brett, I know we talk about this every time, but we almost have to. Are there still projects remaining from the flood?
Out there, right? Was that from the flood?
Yeah. Are there projects still remaining?
There are, yeah. We're actually just in the process right now of determining what the projects are that we're actually going to do. The summer's been busy for us. We've been working and speaking with a lot of neighbors that are being asked to do a lot, quite frankly. We're asking them to disconnect their footing drains from their homes to our sanitary sewer systems, which is disruptive to them, and we understand that. And then obviously there's a lot of concerns that they have about that. So it's a lot of talk at this point in time, trying to understand their concerns, minimize those, take care of as many of their issues as we can, but also move forward with programs that are going to help us out. The projects, as you mentioned, we've probably got a good 3 to 5 years worth of work ahead of us once we actually determine the things that we're going to undertake. And then the second round of it is we're really just starting into the discussions about what do we do with the surface drainage. It's either at us from the river or down our various creeks and county drains. And we're working with the drain commissioner from the county to figure out how best to deal with those to help people out as well.
Now, you have federal ARCA funds coming in?
We've got a number of funds. In some cases, it's a difficult task just keeping track of those. So we've had a lot of help from our legislators. Congressman Molinar, for instance, has been very helpful trying to allocate and find funds for us. Senator Stabenow and Peters have been very helpful, and so certainly our local legislators, including Mr. Stamas and Ms. Cullen as well, are both being very helpful. So unfortunately, we're talking just some of our infrastructure improvements, about $50 million worth of work to do. and it's pretty hard to find that kind of funding. So we're actually looking at loans through the state revolving fund to help us out along that way as well.
It is interesting. You point something out, and every now and then we have to, because there's so much divisiveness in the news. But when it comes to local situations like this, partisanship doesn't come into play, does it? I mean, both sides of the aisle worked to help you out of this predicament.
Yeah, we've certainly been fortunate. We appreciate the efforts of all, and that, of course, in this case, means both sides of the aisle. As Democrats, they've come together, they've worked together, they understand the challenges that we face as a community. And while they can only do so much, they're one of many votes across either our state or our country, of course. They've been right there beside us, working with us and fighting for us, and we certainly appreciate those efforts.
And one time, and I think we talked about this the last time, but at one time, of course, you had one major employer, and that was Dow Chemical. Now you have Dow, DuPont, Corteva. Have they all been able to assimilate into the community flawlessly, seamlessly?
Yeah, that's a great question. I've that way before. Certainly the mergers that took place between Dow and DuPont and then splits later basically transitioned us from a company town of Dow to a multiple company town with some large employers, and certainly all of which have the potential to significantly impact us. They've been active in the community, I think, a little bit. They're finding their way, too, in terms of finding their footing and what role they're going to play within the community. Dow continues to have a big presence with us. Mid-Michigan, who's actually now our largest employer, has been very much out front with us. Corteva is finding their way and finding different projects such as Midland Blooms that they've really engaged with in the community felt. And DuPont, again, being an artist, they're trying to find their way as to what role they can play, and we're working with them as we get to know them, frankly, and they get to know us.
What impact did it have on your tax base? Did it have much, or did it simply split up your tax base into 3 different users?
Yeah, I think it's more the latter. So certainly the assets, the property, all of the different infrastructure that was in place is now just divided amongst a number of companies. So the way that we tax is based upon that. We don't utilize income taxes here within the cities, or at least a local income tax. That wasn't changed, so it really is just part of the continual evolution of the facilities and the properties that are within town. We just now bill a little bit differently, and they work with us a little bit differently on those taxes as well.
If we take federal recovery money out of it and any special funds for the flood recovery, what's the financial health of the city of Midland?
Well, I would say we're solid. Certainly, COVID had an impact on us, and I think we've talked about that before, Art. It hurt us in the sense that revenues declined, certain costs went up, and we made adjustments over the course of the last year. The flood is a secondary issue, certainly, that we have to respond to and come up with finances for. Overall, the changes that we've made, the council decisions that were made along the way, as well as administrative ones, all led us to a pretty solid position in terms of not putting us in jeopardy. But we are in need of things like insurance funds and FEMA recovery funds to help sort of keep us whole. And then moving forward, as I mentioned, we've approved or authorized, council has about $50 million worth of work to our sewage and sanitary sewer and storm sewer systems. And that is new cost to us. And so that'll be a situation where it'll be a tax-based repayment on that. The good news is we were in pretty sound financial position with very few debts and loans in place, and some of those are kind of rolling off the books as these new ones come on. So we'll be all right. We didn't get a lot of help sort of through ARPA and some of the other activities and funds that are out there, but we'll do fine. We plan well, and we do a good job budgeting. Both council and staff have worked together for a long time to get us to that position, and so we'll be all right.
All right, Brad, hang on. I got to take a break. We'll come back. We're talking to Brad Kaye, City Manager of the City of Midland, here on WSGW, where it is time to play the WSGW Fall into Cash contest presented by Herman Hiss & Company, downtown Bay City. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $1,000 by entering the following word online at WSGW.com. And that word is sing, S-I-N-G. Let's sing a song. It's an Alpha Media company-wide contest. Must be 18 years or older to play. One winner chosen each day. Complete rules at WSGW.com. It's the Fall into Cash contest presented by Herman Hess and Company on WSGW. We will be back with you after these notes.
Michigan, it's time to play Lie or Law. Lie or Law. Drivers must allow at least 3 feet when passing bike riders. It's a state law. Bike riders must ride in the direction of traffic. It's a state law. If anyone tells you different, it's a lie. Know the law, and remember, it's everybody's road, everybody's rules. Sponsored by the Michigan Office of Highway Safety Planning and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
There's a lot of confusion about how to protect yourself from COVID with guidelines and regulations. You need an accurate thermometer for your family to check for fever, the leading sign of flu and COVID. Only the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no scientific studies behind them and can miss the fever that might mean COVID. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Hemlock Public School District is a leader in innovation, collaboration, and education in mid-Michigan with programs from the cradle to early middle college, where hands-on and hard work never go out of style. Our mission and vision, here to serve, innovate, educate, and call us at 989-642-5282. That's 642-5282. Or explore more at hemlockps.com. Hemlock Public Schools, excellence in education. Enroll today.
Still looking for that one special voice that makes you fall in love with podcasts? The One is out there and free on Spotify. With over 2 million shows and today's most talked about podcasts, Spotify is the best place to find that one special show that makes you laugh, keeps you interested, and keeps you listening for more. Whatever you're into, get way more into it with a podcast. Find them right now, free on Spotify.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
There's an encouraging reading on the job market. Payroll processing company ADP says there were 568,000 new jobs created last month by private employers. That tops forecast by more than 100,000. The Labor Department's monthly employment report is released on Friday. Boston Scientific is buying Baylis Medical for $1.7 billion in cash. Baylis, based in Ontario, makes devices used in heart procedures. Technology shares are rallying after Palantir was selected to provide an operating system for the U.S. Army. Palantir will be paid more than $800 million. The company says the platform will support Army intelligence users worldwide. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Any supplier can drop a box outside your door. But if you want a partner who delivers great customer service too, rely on Cintas. Your dedicated service reps can help your business run smoothly. From essential cleaning products to hygienically cleaned apparel, fire protection services to first aid and safety supplies. That service you can't get from a box.
Oh, I'm ready!
Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
COVID is spiking again, and it's just not clear how to keep your family safe. Fever is and the only way to reliably detect it is with an accurate thermometer. Be vigilant and be accurate with the Exergen temporal scanner, whose accuracy has been proven in more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers are proven to be inaccurate and will not reliably detect a fever that might mean COVID. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Companies. If you thought you missed your chance to refinance and save, think again. Mortgage rates have recently dropped below 3%, and Rocket Mortgage can help you save big. You could lower your monthly payment for a better financial future. But you've got to act now. Call us today at 833-8-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Rocket. Conditions apply. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org number 3030.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show, DOJ thinks attacking a courthouse is fine, but yelling at a school board is terrorism. You will submit now.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show, talking to Brad Kaye, City Manager, the city of Midland. Let me ask, with all the projects you have online over the next several years, and any observer walking around your town or any other town sees help wanted signs everywhere, you have a fear about the labor to do the projects?
Yes, is the short answer to that. A lot of the work in this particular case, though, will be contractors, so it will obviously be getting the work out to local businesses, and our hope is, of course, that they'll have the staff on their behalf in order to complete this work. But yeah, I think that's a problem in terms of everybody's experiencing it. We face it from our hiring internal for our departments and positions right through to our senior positions, and it's been a challenge. And I don't suspect that the contractors are going to have any better luck than we have. And yes, so I guess that was the long version of the short version of yes.
The other issue out there, which I assume also will impact your budget and everybody else's, is inflation. The cost of products, goods, services, just going through the roof. How do you deal with that?
Well, I think we sharpen our pencils as best we can, but the fact of the matter is, it's a lot of the actual products and the materials that we need for various projects that are causing the increase. It's not a matter of whether it be overhead or administrative costs or any of those. It's simply what it costs to buy. We see that on everything from the salt that we have to buy for roads to treat them during the winter, to the chlorine that we need in our water systems and on up. And we're dealing and looking at, say, the Poseyville Park project, which is the old Fort East site across the river here that we're looking to rebuild and turn into a great park, and just the overall material as well. So how do we deal with it? We basically budget for an increase, we plan for it, and we try to fund it to levels that we know we at least have to plan for, and then we do the best that we possibly can to again, sharpen our pencils and keep those costs down as we get into the project itself.
There was a story, a national story the other day about restaurants and the problems they're having, and how many of them have closed, reduced hours, what have you. Have you seen that impact in downtown Saginaw, downtown Midland, which is restaurant heavy?
Well, yeah, I'm not sure in Saginaw, but I know here in Midland, we've talked to restaurants as well, and they do face the same challenges, and not only downtown, but across the city. So we see places that are closed on weekends because they can't get staff to man the stores or to man the restaurants. We see the same challenges in our downtown businesses, where perhaps they're not open as many hours during the evenings that they might have otherwise been prior to the pandemic and the current labor shortage. So absolutely, that's a challenge for them. And the best with the things that we're trying to do, things like our commons, where we're trying to attract people to our downtown, are intended to put a lot of people there so that they can afford to hire the staff that they need, even if they're perhaps paying a little bit higher wages than they've had to in the past to get them there.
Well, Brad, listen, I want to thank you for, as always, spending some time with us. If in conclusion, let me ask you, top of the mind project for Midland, what would it be? What's number one?
Yeah, the one that we're working on right at the moment, it's a great one, and we may have talked about this one before too, Art, which is the Miracle Field. It's basically for handicapped individuals who aren't able to play regular baseball. This field will give a zero barrier field up in Central Park, which is right sort of in the core of the town, and allow them to get on the game, have helpers help them, whether it be hitting and running the bases, and allow the parents to sit back and watch and just be spectators, which they don't often get the chance. So it's been really cool this week and last, because the actual field is going down, so it's kind of turning from a dirt patch to something that resembles a baseball field. It's going to be a great one. We're still funding $500,000. So if there's any listeners that are interested in participating, we're more than happy to talk to them. But that's going to be a great addition to our town and service a part of the community that just doesn't have it right now.
And I would assume springtime would be the first games.
We are. We'll be opening up and running this league, and part of the participation will be able to start going in the spring once the project is up and fully completed.
Well, Brad, thanks for spending a little time with us this morning, as always, and we'll do it again down the road.
All right. I look forward to talking to you next week or next month. Take care.
Take care, Brad. Bye-bye now. Brad Kaye, City Manager of the City of Midland, and we thank him for spending some time with us this morning, bringing us up to date on happenings in that Great Lakes Bay community. That will lead us now to open phones for the remainder of the program right up through 11 o'clock. So if you have some topics you'd like to talk about, 752-6111 from Saginaw and Bay City. From beyond in the state of Michigan, 866-790-WSGW. Or anywhere in the country for that matter, 989-752-6111. We'll put you in touch with us. Love to talk with you about whatever's on your mind, whether it's COVID, the Supreme Court and all the issues they're facing, the debt ceiling in Washington still not resolved, the big packages sitting there, the $1.2 trillion hard infrastructure and the $3.5 trillion soft infrastructure packages still languishing in Congress, and lots more. So if you have some thoughts on any of those or anything else you'd like to hear discussed, give us a call. And we would love to chat with you this morning. Driving around looking at gas prices, I mentioned inflation to Brad. They are all over. The gas prices are all over the place. I saw one station at $3.39 and another at $3.11. I think the 311s haven't caught up with the 339s yet because there was a news story this morning that said gas prices in the state were at $3.38 average. So if you can still find the 311, gas up now, folks. It's going to go up. Price of a barrel of oil continues to go up. There's been speculation as to how high it might go. Everybody seems to agree with $100. I even heard one report that said $200 a barrel. Hold on to your wallet. I don't remember an inflationary time like this, probably since Jimmy Carter, when our interest rates were at 18, 19%. But this is really being impactful and hurting those who can least afford it. Bacon at $7. I thought my wife was kidding a couple of weeks ago. She told me she paid $7 a pound for bacon. I said, come on, used to pay $1.50 or whatever it was for bacon. It was cheap. $7 a pound. Well, there was a story the other day. That's the national average. So I don't know. John is in Saginaw. So let's start there. John, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. Well, you're being such a downer on inflation. I'm going to give us a lighter topic.
Okay, good.
I have a question for the people at General Motors. Right now, there's been a couple articles in the local paper recently about hundreds, if not thousands, of pickup trucks awaiting their computer chips.
Right.
Are sitting in a field down in Mount Morris.
That's one of them. There's lots of fields. Yeah, there's lots of fields.
Yes, there are. Well, it interests me because it is basically just a bit of gravel field. It's not a paved parking lot of an old plant or something. So if those trucks sit there 4, 5, 6 months, are they going to inform the purchasers of those trucks that your vehicle sat in a field for 6 months and the mice made nests in the bumper, chewed a little of the wiring maybe in the vehicle? Because I've stored a pickup truck before in the field. It is not the same as parking it in your driveway.
I don't know the direct answer to that question, but I have run into some GM folks and as a matter of fact, other manufacturers. It's not just GM. And all of those vehicles are going to have to be thoroughly inspected before they even go out to the public. And whether they will carry some kind of designation, I doubt it. They'll probably go out as a new vehicle once they're inspected.
There's the problem, because at the minimum, they should have an extended warranty of some kind.
I would agree.
You can't spot.
Yeah, and they may come that way. Who knows? I mean, it's very possible that may be the answer. But, here's the other answer, John, and you have to realize this. The minute those vehicles hit the marketplace, they're going to be gone. They are going to be swallowed up. They are going to be swallowed up by the public. And it's interesting. Some manufacturers don't have the problem. One of them is Kia. The reason? They have their own chip plant. Well, gee, why don't American companies take notice? To me, it boggles my mind that Ford, General Motors don't have their own chip plants. You'd think they'd learn.
When you mention a company like Ford, they used to be the big inventor of vertical integration. Henry Ford made everything. He made the wooden spokes.
Absolutely.
Model T wheels.
Absolutely. Well, international corporate challenges changed all that years ago. So, all right, John, I got to take a break, but thanks for bringing it up. Good conversation. We'll talk more about it. Thanks, friend. Take care. Bye-bye now. All right, we'll pause and be back with more. It's the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW.
Your home is the one place where everything should be perfect, including your air. Hartel Heating Company helps you achieve the perfect air you deserve with reliable, groundbreaking, award-winning Lennox products. Call Hartel Heating Company to hear more about how we can help you feel healthier and happier in your home. It doesn't get any more perfect than that. Call us today at 989-892-6111 or visit us online at hartelheating.com. License number 71-03370.
For eligible individuals 18 or older only. Not available in Oregon or West Virginia. Results vary. See website for details and important safety information.
How are your hearing aids sounding now?
A little tinny.
Okay, 2 seconds.
With hearing aids from Lively, everything is done remotely in the comfort of your home, from initial testing to adjustments.
How are they sounding now?
Fantastic. So much better. With Lively, you get premium Bluetooth-enabled hearing aids at thousands less than you might expect. The best hearing aid technology is now affordable and convenient. Your hearing aids are sent right to your door. And if you have any issues, we'll make adjustments 7 days a week. No charge.
Ah, you people at Lively are wonderful.
With Lively hearing aids, you get free shipping, 3 years of follow-up care included free, plus a 3-year warranty with loss and damage coverage. You can't lose.
I hear better than I ever thought possible.
Now get $100 off your hearing aids. .com/radio. That's listenlively.com/radio. listenlively.com/radio.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
The whole goal is to point people to something bigger.
What if the news was different and covered more than one side of the story? Not just the who or the what, but the why. What if it took you closer?
It's information and people want it.
So you can make up your own mind. What if the news lets you think for yourself? Introducing a new point of view. Yours. Newsy. Watch Newsy free on your TV. Learn more at newsy.com.
Ad paid for by CompleteCar.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to the COVID crisis, we are announcing a low-cost extended service plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay nothing for auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay nothing for auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-549-1985 now. Drivers who are covered by this auto protection will not have to pay for a covered repair bill again. This auto coverage is at an all-time low, much lower than what dealerships are charging. Additionally, drivers who activate this auto coverage today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and free rental car at no additional cost. Call for your free quick quote today. 800-549-1985. What do you have to lose? Again, 800-549-1985.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you, the Art Lewis Show, for a Wednesday morning. Paul is in Saginaw. Paul, good morning.
Morning, Art. I've got a question that maybe you can help me with here, because I don't know. In the past few days, the Democratic Party picked for the president to give a speech. And I find that kind of curious because in the past, historically, Howell, Michigan has been a base and a recruiting center for the Michigan militia and the KKK.
That's got nothing to do with his visit.
Well, why would they pick Howell, Michigan for him to give? And there were protests.
Because he was down there with, so what? There's always protests when the president speaks. They picked that for the operating engineers and nothing to do with all of that other stuff. You got to get your mind out of the conspiracy theories. It's,
I find it curious why he gave a speech there, because I don't know that's not really a Democratic area.
Part of the, last I looked, it was part of the United States.
Right. But
well, he's president of the United States. He can speak wherever he wants.
I understand that. But you would think he'd give a speech in a Democratic stronghold.
Why?
Then,
he's trying to convince Republicans. But that's beside the point. He's got a lot of Democrats he has to convince too.
Right.
And that's why. I mean,
if you had any other insights on why
because of the operating engineers. It had nothing to do with all that other stuff. Come on. Not everything has got a conspiracy behind it. It just boggles my mind. It's so much of what goes on today. Everybody thinks there's got to be something contrary behind it. He's the president. He chose that area to give the speech because of the operating engineers. He's trying to make a point to Democrats. Perfect. More power to him. I don't know that he succeeded, but more power to him. What do I care where he talks? I either agree with him or disagree with him, no matter where he says it.
Right. All right. I just want to.
All right. Good enough, Paul.
All right.
Bye-bye now. Listen. There are, I guess, theories for everything in life. We can create conspiracy theories for everything we do, everything that happens. 99% of the time, none of it's true. Now, you got to be cognizant of that 1%. I'll grant you that. But come on, the guy came to town to give a speech. Whether I agree with him or disagree with him, he's the president of the United States. Whether I like it or don't like it, doesn't matter. He's got a right to speak where he wants. He chose that area because of the operating engineers, and that was it. And remember this, he's trying to convince Democrats. You would think he'd want to speak in a Democratic stronghold, because his problem is not with Republicans. He's not going to get Republicans on board for his $3.5 trillion plan. It's not going to happen. He knows it. Everybody knows it. But he's got a problem in his own party, and he's got to convince his own Democrats to come on board because he has a huge chasm in his own party. So it makes perfect sense to come to a Democratic stronghold and try and talk to Democrats. All right, we're going to take a break. Come back. We'll get to Dave and Saginaw when we return after these notes.
Home Home is a feeling of security and the place you want to come back to again and again. Capocco Community Credit Union wants to be your home for any of your lending needs. Whether it is a new car, school, or even a new home, Capocco is there for you. And with features like e-sign, contactless lending, and Skip-a-Pay, it makes choosing easy. See a Capocco Community Credit Union loan officer today and ask how they can help. Find out more at capocco.org and Equal Housing Lending.
In a world that's a little simpler comes the tale of Veltima fungicide. Swift, simple, and secure. It's a corn-growing story without all the drama. Unless you add totally epic music, really random sound effects, and a cool announcer guy. Get ready for the blockbuster yields of the summer with Veltima fungicide from BASF. Coming soon to a field near you. Always read and follow label directions.
Well, according to research, 82% of people remember radio ads. That means that 82% of you listening right now will remember that if you're hiring, 82% of you will recall that ZipRecruiter makes hiring faster and easier. And 82% of you will note that you can try ZipRecruiter for free today. But you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Yes, free. 82% of you will keep in mind that ZipRecruiter's technology finds qualified people for your job and actively invites them to apply.
Is that you? Who are you talking to?
82% of you will also know that I live with my mom. But the most important thing to note is that ZipRecruiter works. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Will you be part of the 82% who remember where you free? It's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Again, that exclusive link is ZipRecruiter.com/free. How much? Free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Choose the proven performance of the Roundup Ready Extend crop system, featuring high-yielding Extend Flex soybeans and the exceptional weed control of XtendiMax herbicide with Vapor Grip technology. Elite genetics, triple herbicide tolerance, flexibility that delivers results, backed by 25 years of innovation. That's the Roundup Ready Extend crop system, the system of choice. XtendiMax is a restricted-use pesticide. Always follow stewardship practices, all pesticide label directions, and check with your state pesticide regulatory agency in your state.
They say if you listen hard enough, you can hear the corn grow. It's true. When you're out in the field, you understand its challenges and what it needs to thrive. Channel Seedsmen bring insights from the field to our team of Bayer plant breeders. Their knowledge inspires our product development. From your best ground to your most challenging conditions, our products are designed to perform in your fields. Visit channellistens.com to see our latest innovations. Always read and follow IRM where applicable, grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Tom Sullivan, weeknights at 7 on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we return here on WSGW, and we go to Saginaw Township, and that's where we find Dave this morning. Dave, good morning to you.
Good morning, Ed. How are you doing today?
We're doing well. Hope you are.
Good. You know, all these conspiracy guys and their theories, get over it. The election's over. It's been to the Supreme Court. We've been around this block so many times that people are just tired of people trying to interject these things in. An instructor one time, he made a statement I never forgot. He said, if somebody calls you ignorant, don't take that personal. That just means lack of information if you look it up. But take that to the grave with you. And I think some of these people, they must be in the latter category because the information's out there. That's about all I've got to say.
You're right. The information is there if you want to find it. The problem is, see if you agree with this, the problem is a lot of people today only seek out sources that agree with their premonition to start with. So if you are thinking a certain way, you seek out sources that agree with your way of thinking to establish you as being correct. It's human nature. And consequently, if you have belief in a certain conspiracy theory, you don't go to people that'll down that theory. You go to people that support that theory.
But isn't that crazy the way it works in our country now? I long for a guy like Walter Cronkite again. Bring the news to me straight out. Don't put a spin on it and let us make our own decisions.
Yeah.
And they spin.
Well,
spin all the time, depending on your point of view.
I got 2 words for you. Social media.
There you go.
It's changed the game. It has changed the game. Because now not only are the national news networks competing with each other, they're competing with social media. So they've taken the new tact. And unfortunately, I think the pure news has suffered. You're right. The days of Walter Cronkite are gone,
You know, thanks for the Supreme Court and the system of government we have. When it gets to that point, they make the decision. And because, I don't want to turn this into a banana republic of America with some of this garbage I've seen.
Yeah.
So,
isn't it amazing how wise the founding fathers were? When you think about it, way back when. And these are people that couldn't agree with each other. And they had to sit down. They had to sit down and compromise so this country could be formed. More power to them. They look more brilliant every time you realize what they did.
Yep, that's for sure. Well, nice talking to you, Art. You have a good day.
Dave, you too. Thanks. Bye-bye now. It's true. For a while recently, in the last, maybe, I want to say 20 years or so, the word compromise seemed to become a dirty word. Well, guess what? If it were not for compromise, we probably wouldn't be sitting here with the freedoms we have doing what we do. Our form of government would probably be entirely different. Probably still pledge allegiance to the king or queen. But the founding fathers understood that while they disagreed with each other, and vehemently at times, when push came to shove, they had to sit down and find the common ground. This country was a product of common ground, which ought to tell us something about how good compromise can be for us. But it doesn't seem to. Speaking of compromise, there's talk about the $3.5 trillion family infrastructure package. I mean, the other day I heard Bernie Sanders say, he wanted $6 trillion, but he'll settle for 3.5. That's the minimum. And on the other side of that coin, Joe Manchin, the Democratic senator from West Virginia, who is conservative by every measure, said that, he could never accept the 3.5 trillion. He would be willing to accept 1.5 trillion. And then the other day he was quoted as saying, maybe up to 2 trillion. So yesterday there was a story, and this morning, that apparently the president has suggested that he could accept 2.2 trillion. So they're getting a lot closer. I would not be surprised if in the next several weeks some form of a $2 trillion package comes forth within the tolerance of $2 trillion, 2.1, 1.9, 2.2, somewhere in that range, that Joe Manchin says, okay, I can support that. I would not be surprised if we don't get some kind of family infrastructure package on the books. And then the 1.2 trillion hard infrastructure package will also pass. And push come to shove, the Democrats, if they have to go alone, will raise the debt ceiling. Time will tell. Time will tell. There's a lot on the plate. And it's interesting right now that the compromise is not between the right and left. The compromise is between the far left and the centrists within one party. Now, this has happened before. Republicans have had their time where they've had disagreements within the various elements of their party. The Democrats are no different. The Democratic Party is splintered between the far left progressives and the centrists like Joe Manchin. And right now, because of that, nothing's getting done. What will happen, I predict, whether I like it or not, is there's going to be compromise. They will sit down and find a way to get something done that they want done. And they're going to do it sooner than later. Because if they wait and don't get it done in this session, they may not have the power to get it done in the next session. They only need to lose one seat in the Senate to lose their majority, and just a few seats in the House to lose their majority and their speaker. They want to get it done, and they want to get it done now. They don't want to take the chance that in 2022 they don't have the power to get it done, and then nothing of Joe Biden's agenda will get done. So my prediction is that within the next couple of weeks, if that long, they will resolve this issue with a package that's substantially smaller than the $3.5 trillion. It will not make the progressives happy, but they will get something. And I think what they're going to look at is something is better than nothing. After we get the something, then we'll go for the rest with other packages. Don't think it's going to go away. If the $3.5 trillion doesn't pass and they only get, let's say, $2 trillion, you can watch. They will be back to the table with other bills to make up the difference. That's my prediction. And that's pretty much the way politics works today. He who has the power wins, but they have to be careful that they don't lose the power. All right. We'll take a break and come back and finish up this hour of the Art Lewis Show. Next hour is open phones for you. We'll be back.
There's never been a better time to switch to Spectrum Mobile. You could save hundreds of dollars on your mobile bill. Plus, there are no added taxes, hidden fees, and no contracts. Try the Spectrum Mobile Savings Calculator today, and in 3 easy steps, you'll see how much you could save by switching. Visit spectrummobile.com/save. Spectrum Internet required. Savings may vary. Restrictions apply. Visit spectrummobile.com/save for details.
Get huge savings with fuel rewards every time you fill up at one of your 26 area Forward Shell convenience stores. Get at least 5 cents off a gallon every single fill up and earn even more when you make purchases in store. You can regularly than 30 cents off a gallon, which means less money goes into your tank and more stays into your wallet. Visit fuelrewards.com to sign up and start saving today. That's Fuel Rewards at your area Forward Shell convenience stores. And remember, when you want to pay less at the pump, go forward.
Save today on your next project with 11% off everything now at Menards. We carry all the tools and testers you need for any electrical job. Stock up your toolbox with Southwire electrical products and tackle any project with ease. Right now, get 11% off all Southwire electrical products. Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Good through Saturday, October 9th. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Ad paid for by CompleteCar.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to the COVID crisis, we are announcing a low-cost that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay nothing for auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay nothing for auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-549-1985 now. Drivers who are covered by this auto protection will not have to pay for a covered repair bill again. This auto coverage is at an all-time low, much lower than what dealerships are charging. Additionally, drivers who activate this auto coverage today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and free rental car at no additional cost. Call for your free quick quote today. 800-549-1985. 800-549-1985. What do you have to lose? Again, 800-549-1985.
Heading up toward the top of the hour, we'll have news from CBS. That'll be the National and International Report. Then we move on to the local report. We'll find out what's happening in the Great Lakes Bay region and the state of Michigan. Then we'll be back. We'll have open phones for you, whatever you want to chat about. We got a number of things to bring up, too. All of that happens right after the news, which is next here on WSGW. Talk to you in about 10 minutes.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Good news for teachers, police officers, and government workers trying to pay off student loans from long ago. The Education Department's overhauling its forgiveness program. CBS's Stacey Lynn is in Washington.
The student loan forgiveness program's been around since 2007 to steer more grads. But because of some very strict and confusing requirements, has only helped 5,500 people. The temporary changes now can help more than 500,000 borrowers wipe away that debt.
Democrats in the Senate hope to advance a measure to hold a vote on raising the nation's debt ceiling, but Republicans could block it. The president says he believes his party may be able to prevent a filibuster. White House correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
12 days remain before the Treasury Secretary says the government won't be able to meet all its financial obligations to Social Security recipients, federal employees, Medicare providers, and others. Today, President Biden meets with CEOs to discuss the ramifications of a first-ever U.S. vow to block another attempt at increasing the debt ceiling this afternoon. The president said yesterday he saw a possibility in a Senate rule change, barring filibusters for debt ceiling increases.
The CDC is reporting the steepest rise in homicides in this country in 100 years. They jumped a record 30% during the first year of the pandemic. That's higher than the 20% increase recorded after the September 11th attacks. The Supreme Court's expected to hear arguments today in the case of Abu Zubaydah, captured in Pakistan after 9/11, tortured, and sent to Guantanamo Bay. Andrea Prasso with Human Rights Watch.
The government tortured people and has had no repercussions. It's trying to subpoena. The government argues because they tortured Zubaydah and then didn't charge him that he doesn't have the same right to examine these men.
Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg denies claims by a former employee the company chooses profits over public safety and the well-being of young users. Head of Global Safety, Antigone Davis, tells CBS Mornings.
People come to Facebook to share with their photos of their family and friends. They come to Facebook to build their small business. If it's filled with hate, they're not going to do that. And our advertisers aren't going to come back either.
A conspicuous absence among the country's wealthiest. CBS's Monica Ricks explains.
For the first, President Trump is not on the Forbes 400 list of richest people in America. Mr. Trump has a net worth of $2.5 billion, but apparently missed making the magazine's list by about $400 million. Forbes says his net worth was the same as last year. His wealth dropped significantly after becoming president.
The Dow is down 358 points. This is CBS News.
Indeed helps find great hires fast. Indeed is your all-in-one platform for interviewing, screening, and hiring high-quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Many people are feeling overwhelmed and struggling. Call the Michigan COVID-19 hotline at 1-888-535-6136 and press 8 to talk with a Stay Well counselor. It's free and confidential. Learn more at michigan.gov/staywell. Sponsored by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
Service. It's hard to find these days. M&R Garage Door has built their business on it. M&R Garage Door has been taking care of their customers in the Tri-Cities for over 50 years. M&R can repair any brand garage door or opener, including all residential and industrial doors. Call needs. M&R has garage doors and openers for every style and every budget. Call M&R Garage Door at 989-894-0971 for all of your garage door and opener needs. 989-894-0971.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown. What could be sweeter than that?
Still looking for that one special voice that makes you fall in love with podcasts? The one is out there and free on Spotify. With over 2 million shows and today's most talked about podcasts, Spotify is the best place to find that one special show that makes you laugh, keeps you interested, and keeps you listening for more. Whatever you're into, get way more into it with a podcast. Find the one you've been listening for right now, free on Spotify.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 60 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. 2 Flint men have been arrested and charged following shots fired at a Michigan State Police helicopter over the weekend. Around 2:30 Saturday morning, Trooper 3 of the helicopter was assisting Flint Police and Genesee County Sheriff's deputies respond to a shots fired call. When the men were located by the helicopter, one of them fired several shots along a creek bed and then handed the gun to the other man, who fired at least 5 shots at the aircraft. Engelman, both 26 from Flint, were taken into custody and arraigned Tuesday morning on charges of assault with intent to murder, terrorism, attempted malicious destruction of police property, and felony firearm. Both are in the Genesee County Jail with a $50,000 bond. Neither of the flight crew members were injured, and the helicopter was not damaged. Bay City Electric Light and Power is celebrating Public Power Week through Saturday, along with more than 2,000 other community-powered electric utilities. Here's Ann Williams with this.
Not-for-profit utilities provide electricity to 49 million Americans. Bay City Electric Light and Power supplies energy to more than 21,000 area, which extends beyond the city limits to Bangor, Frankenlust, Hampton, Monitor, and Portsmouth townships. Community members are invited to celebrate Public Power Day on Saturday from 10 until 2 at the Bay City Light and Power Service Center at 900 South Water Street. There will be a pole climbing exhibition, power plant tour, bucket truck rides, safety demonstrations, games, prizes, and family-friendly activities. Bay City Electric Light and Power began in 1868 as the Bay City Gas Light Company. In 2020, the American Public Power Association recognized it as a reliable public power provider diamond designee, which is awarded to demonstrate high proficiency in reliability, safety, workforce development, and system improvement. Ann Williams, News Radio, 100.5 and 790.
WSGW News Time, 10:07.
This view was worth a hike.
Right? And it's a good way to stay on top of my health.
Yes, I'm Cologuard, a prescription colon cancer screening option for people 45 plus at average risk. Have you screened for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. It's more treatable when caught in early stages.
Tell me more.
Cologuard is non-invasive and it's used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool to find 92%.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive result should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy. False positive and negative results may occur. Cologuard is not a replacement for colonoscopy in high-risk patients. Do not use if you have had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel disease and certain hereditary syndromes, or a personal or family history of colon cancer.
Most insured patients pay $0. Ask your provider or an online prescriber if Cologuard is right for you, or visit Cologuard.com.
I'm in.
WSGW News Time, 10:08, the weather forecast. Former teacher at Thornapple Kellogg Schools in Southwest Michigan has agreed to plead guilty in a failed murder-for-hire plot against his wife. MLive reports Nelson Replogle signed a plea deal in U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Tennessee. He could receive up to 10 years in prison and up to $250,000 in fines. The couple were living in Tennessee after leaving Michigan in 2018. In April this year, he arranged for his wife's killing using the internet, according to the plea agreement. The plot was uncovered, and Replogle will be sentenced later this month. Officials with General Motors announced the company will build a new electric vehicle battery lab at the Tech Center in Warren. Here's Mayor Jim. This announcement by GM sends to the rest of the region about Warren.
It sends a message that starting with the announcement of the census a few weeks ago, where for the first time since 1970, Warren's population went up. That means Warren is back. The metro area is back. more jobs coming from Warren, whether it be in the town center or whether it be GM or whether it be Chrysler down the street. We're back. And I think the future looks great for Michigan.
The 300,000 square foot building is scheduled to be completed by the middle of the year. Johnson & Johnson has officially asked the FDA to approve its COVID-19 booster shot for a specific time interval to administer the booster, but rather they submitted data sets showing immunity against the virus went up to 94% when a second shot of their vaccine was administered 2 months after the first dose. The company says even without a booster, their vaccine protection remains stable over time. WSGW News Time, 10:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Mainly cloudy today, high of 72. Tonight, cloudy and low near 58, high of 76 on Thursday. Mainly cloudy, chance of seeing a few showers. Thursday night, cloudy, areas of showers and thunderstorms. 3. On Friday, we'll have lots of clouds, areas of showers, a few storms, high of 75. Friday night, cloudy, chance of showers and storms, low near 60. Saturday, mainly cloudy, occasional sun, high near 76. Sunday, chance of rain, high near 78. I'm meteorologist Laura Lockwood with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now, 58.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show, 5 and 790 WSGW, and online, WSGW.com.
And welcome back to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Delighted to be with you on this Wednesday morning. Our program is sponsored by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. For all of your residential and commercial real estate needs, give Linda a call, 989-295-7713, or stop into the Point at M47 and M46, the former ISD building, and visit their new Cafe 476 for all kinds of delicious goodies. Open phones for this hour. Whatever's on your mind, Saginaw Bay City, 752-6111, the toll-free number inside the state of Michigan, 866-790-WSGW, and outside the state, or for that matter, inside the state, 989-752-6111. Most carriers don't charge you for long-distance roaming charges and all of that good stuff. Now, we were talking just a little bit about the debt ceiling, the possibility of some kind of compromise on the debt ceiling. There will be a procedural vote today in the Senate to start conversation about a measure which would suspend the debt ceiling until December of 2022. However, I would not expect that to pass because it is not veto-proof. I should say not filibuster-proof. It will require at least 60 votes to pass it. And the Republicans have already said they're not going to support it. And without that Republican support, that measure will not pass. The Republicans are going to force the Democrats to use some form of reconciliation to do this on their own, so it rests squarely on their shoulders. That seems to be the strategy right now. Time will tell. Carol is in Sheridan, so let's head out to Sheridan and say good morning to Carol.
Well, it's a little foggy here.
You had the fog, huh?
Well, not really. I mean, it's not scary, drivey foggy, but it's not
Hazy.
sunny either.
Yeah.
In the Sunday paper, I don't know if people still have it, July 18th to 21, it told about making these chips. It is not an easy process. One tiny hair or one tiny bit of lint. The people dress up in like bunny suits. They have like 2 kinds of booties, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
It takes them 3 months to make a chip.
Yeah. So what? Why can't Americans do that?
Well, that's what it says. They're working on it to have more. Taiwan and Korea do a really, really good job. They're much better at it than us.
Well, only because they've been doing it. We need to do it.
I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just telling you that I don't think people realize the complexity of making these chips. You don't just like open a factory and, we'll make chips. It takes 3 months to just make them.
All right, Carol, then let me ask you this. Prior to the pandemic, why did there seem to be plenty of chips?
Because, well, I imagine there's more cars and things too using them.
Not that many. I mean, let's face it. It all started with the pandemic. Pandemic came along, and all of a sudden,
it slowed up, and to have people repair things. Some of the things, these lithograph printers are like, let's see, the factory is filled with static hum around 10 million worth of machinery and the warm glow of yellow lights that protects the light sensitive. But if one goes down, it was a lot harder to get anybody to fix them too during the thing because these machines run all the time.
Here's the problem. The problem is shortages developed because the factories weren't producing. At the same time the factories weren't producing, more and more electronics are being stuffed into these vehicles. We interviewed a Ford regional manager, and he told me that in the F-150 pickup today, there are 1,800 chips.
Mm-hmm.
So no wonder.
And the global chip forecast to grow 20% this year and 9% next year, but they're in like laptops and smartphones and tires and doorbells.
Which is why I say Ford and General Motors and American car companies need to have their own plants in this country and not be dependent on the rest of the world.
The most advanced manufacturers, Taiwan, TS, South Korea, Samsung, have announced plans to build new factories in the United States.
Well, let them get to it.
Have enthusiasm and need for the better STEM education and workers training. There aren't a lot of colleges that offer curriculums surrounding semiconductor manufacturers. So it's and they've been doing it.
Wow.
But they're much better. It says Taiwan and Koreans are the best in the world when it comes to price and quality because their quality is very, very good too.
Well, then we need to learn how to go back to what I say. We need to learn how to do it.
Well, I'm not arguing with you. I just found this article and how long it takes. It takes 3 months to produce them. They're all printed on top. A 12-inch telephone disc.
Yeah, I understand all that.
Mirror.
I understand all that, but that doesn't answer the question of why we're not doing it.
Well, I think it got ahead of us.
I think what it was, price is what it was. We got greedy. We wanted them cheap. So they're cheaper overseas, so we don't do it. Now we're paying the price.
Well, I imagine, and the need for them. But this Molly plant runs 24 hours a day pumping out 100,000 or 500,000
All right.
Silicone wafers. But it's not just, you don't just go print these chips.
Yeah, I understand that.
I didn't know I didn't realize that it took 3 months to
make
these chips.
Well, you need to figure in the time it takes to make the raw product that the chips are made out of. That adds a lot of time too. All right, I got to go, Carol. Thanks. I appreciate it. Bye-bye now. Peter in Bay City before we take a break. Peter, good morning.
Good morning. This is something that's near and dear to you, but these bills that they're talking about is $5 trillion. And even though they claim to be raising the revenue to pay for them, they're still not going to talk about the deficit, another trillion that is more. But most importantly, I've never heard anything Social Security. If you go to the Social Security website, it admits in their own audits that it will not be able to pay full benefits within 10 years. But in all this talk of trillions of dollars being spent and raised, they don't address that at all.
Yeah, well, they'll have to, and they know they'll have to, because you got to remember that the Social Security voting block is huge, and I promise you they will not do anything to disturb that voting block. I heard talk, if they don't raise the debt ceiling, we won't get checks after the 18th of October. You watch how that's resolved. That it always has been, and I'm confident it always will be.
Well, but they're going to have to raise taxes on someone to pay for that. And each day that ticks, that amount
Wow.
of tax, whether income or cutting benefits, and they say they won't cut benefits, but they're going to raise the retirement ages, but each day that they wait, so they can talk about spending $5 trillion, but they know there's this thing staring them in the face.
Yeah.
And they don't talk about it at all.
They're not talking realistically about the $5 trillion. Why would they talk realistically about anything else? Yeah.
That I have to agree with, and I know you got to go.
All right, friend. Thank you.
Right,
Take care, Peter. Bye-bye now. We'll take a break. Couple of things I want to talk about. First of all, time to play the WSGW Fall into Cash contest presented by Herman Hish & Company, downtown Bay City. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $1,000 by entering the following word online at WSGW.com. The word this hour is news. N-E-W-S. I hope you get your news from WSGW. It's an Alpha Media company-wide contest. Must be 18 or older to play. One winner chosen each day. Complete rules at WSGW.com. Fall into Cash contest presented by WSGW, Alpha Media, and Herman Hiss & Company on WSGW. And while I have your attention, how was your sleep last night? You know, today we're asked to do more for less, so when you go to bed, spend a third of your life there. You need quality sleep, and you can get it with a quality mattress from Sanitary Mattress. And the music will stop while you sleep. You can visit all the so-called sleep stores, and you can rest assured the mattress you're using is manufactured right here in the Great Lakes Bay region to your specifications. Your dollars are spent, and they stay right here in our local economy. Your time in bed may be cut short by today's demanding world, but don't be fooled. You can still get a quality good night's sleep on a Sanitary Mattress. And they feature 1-hour window delivery of your mattress to your home. If you have an RV or a boat, Sanitary Mattress will custom make a mattress for you, something the box stores can't do. Visit the Sanitary Mattress factory and showroom serving this area since 1935. Set your GPS to 5343 Janes Road in Saginaw, just east of the Harry Brown Airport, or visit them on the web at sanitarymattress.com or call 753-1757. More ahead on the Art Lewis Show.
Tired of living paycheck to paycheck? What if it didn't take years or even months to dramatically improve your net worth? What if you could do it virtually overnight? It's like a financial wormhole, something that moves you from one side of the universe to the other in the blink of an eye. But in this case, it's moving you from barely paying your bills to financial freedom in a snap. Learn more at financialwormholes.com. Do it today, and tomorrow you could start living the good life. financialwormholes.com. That's Financial Wormholes.
You work hard to find the right soybean seed for your fields, and you stand by your work. So do we. That's why we put our soybean seed through strenuous testing and provide precise varieties and expert agronomic support for your operation. Ask your authorized retailer or your BASF Agronomic Solutions advisor about Credenz, because credibility isn't just part of our name, it's our commitment. Credenz soybean seed. From the experts that understand, credibility is earned. Always read and follow label directions.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks opened lower. Back to hiring last month, payroll processing company ADP says there were 568,000 jobs created in the private sector in September. The number tops forecast by more than 100,000. The Labor Department's report for September is released on Friday. However, improved hiring and higher energy prices have Wall Street concerned about inflation and higher interest rates. Palantir Technology shares are jumping, helped by a contract with the U.S. Army worth more than $800 million. Home Depot is about to offer same-day delivery in some locations using Walmart's delivery network. And Kroger is planning a major Wednesday, adding 20,000 associates. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Guys, Untuckit agrees it's finally time. Time to update our closets with new clothes we actually want to wear. Time to think about going back to the office or choosing a new way to work. Time to enjoy the best of fall, like long walks in the park and hot coffee on a brisk day. And that means it's time to look sharp and feel comfortable all day with Untuckit. Shirts designed to be worn untucked. Discover the perfect fitting shirt today at untuckit.com. Use promo code 10 off your first purchase at untuckit.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
The WSGW online poll is about a state petition campaign launching to have Michigan change and join several other states to choose future presidents using the national popular vote instead of the current electoral college method. If this campaign is successful, Michigan's electoral votes would be assigned to the presidential candidate who wins the national popular vote instead of who gets the most votes right here in the state. It's the Yes on National Popular Vote ballot drive. It would be, by the way, a legislative initiative. If enough valid signatures were gathered, the proposal would be submitted to the legislature. If lawmakers decline to pass the measure, it would go to the voters in the general election. Our poll question is pretty basic then. Should Michigan's electoral vote state popular vote or the national popular vote? And you can answer votes go to the winner of the state, votes go to the winner of the national vote, or I'm not sure. Head to WSW.com. You're going to scroll on the homepage, find the poll box, and vote that way.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW and back to our phones. Tim in Bay City. Tim, good morning.
Yes, good morning, sir. How are you?
We're doing well, thanks. Hope you are.
Good, thanks. Yeah, I was just listening to the conversation, and you guys are so conversational. I wanted to throw a couple thoughts in, and then I realized I actually had to call the radio to do this.
You can shout at it, but nobody will answer.
Right. Well, I was just listening to the lady talking about the chip shortage.
Yep.
And it reminded me, and how, you had spoken to a Ford guy, and he had given you a lot of good information. And, I think everyone, regardless of their work or their, how they earn a living, to do their best. But, it reminded me of a situation where back in the day, I worked for an auto company supplier, and we were supplying General Motors, and I had to go to China to conduct a negotiation.
Mm-hmm.
And they insisted that I go to China. I couldn't have the review in Michigan or Detroit or even another state. They insisted that we go to China because it involved electronics, and that's where they wanted to do all of their electronic sourcing. And so I got on a plane, flew to Shanghai, and when I got there, we had a nice lengthy discussion, and it went on for about 3 days. One of the overriding things that impressed me, and not necessarily in a positive way, about the whole situation was that when I got there, the people that I was negotiating with had the best imaginable Warren, Michigan accents you could ever think of. Yeah. So in other words, I had to fly to China. My company was forced to pay me to fly to China. GM flew their people to China, and I met with the crew that I ordinarily meet with in Warren, Michigan, in China. Honest to God, that's a true story.
Well, I believe it. And let me ask you this. From your knowledge of it, is that because China demands that you come to China if you're going to do business with a Chinese company?
No, based on my knowledge, it was just GM being GM. Very, very, enormously inefficient. And they wanted, and I'm going to guess, and I used to work for GM, so I'm not coming at this, I'm maybe a little bit jaded, but I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
There are so many managers and so many levels of management involved that every bone in my body told me the reason I was there was because somebody's manager just made a decree that all negotiations involving electronics need to be done in China, because that's where we're going to.
But
that's what we're going to start.
You know what's really interesting about that? They had to pay to send you and their people to China so you could sit down and talk to each other in China. Ostensibly, the reason they went to China in the first place is because the parts are cheaper in China.
Yeah, I mean,
the contradiction is phenomenal.
Well, yeah, and but I mean, hopefully, getting back to the idea of sourcing these things in the U.S. and shortening the supply chain, certainly that makes a ton of sense. But ultimately, it's all about low cost and high quality.
Yeah,
and that's what it's all about.
You mentioned something that I totally agree with because I lived through it, and I'll give you a story. You mentioned the layers of management, and they are, and I will tell you this: they are better at it today. They have cut out some of that middle management, but back in the day, I used to do training videos and other videos for a auto company. And we would go and shoot the video. I was hired to do this one video by the production company, and they asked me how much I charge, and I gave them a number, and they said, "Oh, that's way too much." And I said, "All right, here's the deal. If we go out there and shoot this in one day and you get it approved and everything is honky-dory, I'll cut my fee in half." "Oh, that's good, because that's what's going to happen." I knew better. They shot the video, and it was wonderful. It was a great video. It went to the first layer of management. They changed something.
Yep.
And so we had to go back and shoot another one. Then it went to the second layer of management. They changed something because they could. And we had to go back and shoot it again. And then a third and a fourth layer until finally it hit the top layer of management. And you know what they did? They put it back to where the original video was.
I'm not surprised.
And the production company said, "I understand why you charge what you charge now." I said, "Yeah, well, the next time when you negotiate with them, you'll know better."
Right. Well, and that's how suppliers make money. We used to dream about design changes because you'd bid. Yeah, I mean, you'd bid really low to win the business, and then they'd come along and you'd produce. You'd develop something that was agreed upon based on their specifications, and then somebody would want to change it, and then as soon as they change it, you get to charge for that because they have nowhere else to go at that point.
Designed by committee.
Yeah, well, and I mean, I remember, I could give you example after example, but anyway, hopefully the supply chains will get shortened, and we can get back into.
So let me ask you, from your insight, is it realistic to think that the American companies will have learned their lesson on supply chain and will strive to produce their own products internally?
I think I would say if Nirvana is 100% of what you just described, I would say they'll get to about 20% of that. I mean, short term, they might, there'll be a lot of effort to make it happen to reach Nirvana, but longer term, it's going to be driven by cost and quality. I mean, I suppose if the United States, and I'm kind of going off track here a little bit, but I suppose that if we were to become a more inwardly focused, isolationist country, and you had the manufacturing roundtable on board to do that, we might eventually get there, But as long as we're depending on global sourcing in order to find lower cost, no, it's going to be driven by lower cost.
Yeah. Well,
So, yeah.
I think I must admit I think you're right, but it's unfortunate that everything is price driven and not value driven. So,
Yeah.
well, listen, Jeff, I really appreciate your insight. Thanks much.
Tim,
Tim. I'm sorry, Tim. I'm looking at the next guy. Yeah, Tim.
I really enjoy your show too. It's a lot of fun to listen to you guys. So anyway, thanks so much for taking my call.
Well, thanks so much for sharing your expertise with us. Appreciate it. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
I mentioned Jeff. He's next. Jeff in Bay City. Jeff, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. Always a pleasure to talk with you.
Same here.
As the debt ceiling, I guess it would be kids asking their parents just to give them the complete paycheck. You get so much money, you've got this much to work with, and then you're just going to continue to spend what you don't have. None of us try to teach our children to be that way because we all know where it gets you. Gets you in debt, gets you upside down, and ends up making you bankrupt. I don't know where the point of trying to bankrupt America, how anyone thinks that that's such a great idea.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, the system is a little convoluted because you have to raise the debt ceiling to pay for the past sins, not the current ones. Look at it this way. They've got to raise the debt ceiling so they can continue to pay on the debt they accrued prior. With the packages awaiting approval in Congress, if they get approved, that means they'll have to raise the debt ceiling again the next time to cover those. It's a continuous cycle.
Right. What about just stop spending?
Oh, what a concept. Stay within a budget. Listen, I would support.
In the budget. Everybody who lives in a budget, everybody who lives with no budget seems to always be in chaos.
Well, understand the federal government has a budget, but the federal government budget allows them to budget in a deficit fashion. You and I can't do that. States can't do that. I would favor a balanced budget amendment to the Constitution. Now, it's never going to happen, but I would favor it. Well, in the long run, it would for my grandkids and others down the road, you bet.
And, one other thing with the chip shortage, you had a lady on earlier talking about building this. In the 90s, before NAFTA came along, if you wanted the best quality, whether it be car stereo, electronics, it didn't matter what it was, computer, TV, all the best equipment was built here in America.
Yeah, of course.
So to say that we couldn't produce this or that, I think it was piggybacking on, similar to, for an example, a county or a township saying, hey, we're gonna subcontract this particular item out, and then they get rid of all the vehicles and all the employees, and a couple of years down the line, the company that gave this, which was too cheap to believe, then they raised their rate.
Yep.
And when they raise their rate, now you can't really compete because you can't afford to leave them because you'd have to start back from scratch.
You're trapped.
And, I think society-wise, I think America is looking short-term. China is a dynasty of thousands of years compared to us being a couple hundred years.
Well,
and I think they're making major mistakes.
Yep.
Just my opinion.
All right.
And I think they got us dependent on them, and now I think they're trying to cripple our big three. That's
Wouldn't
my
doubt
honest opinion. The
All
big
right,
three.
but a lot of the chips aren't coming out of China. They come out of Korea, Japan. So, I mean, it's not just China that we're talking about here. Jeff, I got to take a break. Appreciate the call. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye now. We'll be back after these notes.
Spectrum Business knows small businesses are always looking to cut expenses. That's why we offer the best value on fast internet and phone. But we wanted to do more. So, how does 1 month free sound? Get 200 megabit per second internet for $49.99 a month and business phone for $19.99 a month. And right now, you can get 1 month of internet and phone and even TV for free. Call 855-25 and switch to Spectrum Business. Restrictions apply.
Hi, I'm Terry Rock. Are you happy with your Medicare? I am now, after I met the pros at Medicare Choices. Yes, you do have choices when it comes to Medicare coverage. No cookie cutter plan for me. You buy a pair of shoes if they fit. Get the right fit, a customized plan designed just for you that helps you protect that hard-earned retirement income. Call 989-899-7820. Medicare Choices info ColonGuard.com will walk you through every step.
This view was worth a hike.
Right? And it's a good way to stay on top of my health.
Guard, a prescription colon cancer screening option for people 45 plus at average risk. Have you screened for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. It's more treatable when caught in early stages.
Tell me more.
Cologuard is non-invasive and it's used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool to find 92% of colon cancers.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive result should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy. False positive and negative results may occur. Cologuard is not a replacement for colonoscopy in high-risk patients. Do not use if you have had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel disease, and certain hereditary family history of colon cancer.
Most insured patients pay $0. Ask your provider or an online prescriber if Cologuard is right for you, or visit Cologuard.com.
I'm in.
With confusion around vaccinations, masks, and public screenings, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign, so make sure you use an accurate thermometer for your family. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them and cannot be relied on. Be vigilant and be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Tired of living paycheck to paycheck? What if it didn't take years or even months to dramatically improve your net worth? What if you could do it virtually overnight? I'm not talking about the lottery. I'm talking about proven financial secrets used by the mega rich to build their massive fortunes. Once only club of billionaires, this secret is now, for the very first time, available to you. Any ordinary person can use this powerful information to build massive wealth. It's like a financial wormhole. You know, something that moves you from one side of the universe to the other in the blink of an eye. But in this case, it's moving you from barely paying your bills to financial freedom in a snap. Learn more at financialwormholes.com. Get off the paycheck to paycheck hamster wheel and start enjoying life like the mega rich. Go to financialwormholes.com. It costs you nothing, but it changes everything. Do it today, and tomorrow you could start living the good life. FinancialWormholes.com. That's FinancialWormholes.com.
This is the Stone Specialist Studios, 100.5 News Radio WSGW, 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show, and back to our phones. Al is in Midland. Al, good morning to you.
Good morning, Arthur.
Morning.
Hey, I happened to stop up to Coffee Chaos. They had a thing with coffee with the cops.
Yeah.
And had a little discussion with them about various things. I pointed out to them that consumers had a street light that was rusting at the bottom so bad you could see daylight through it. And I don't know when they're going to get around to fixing it, but it's a light near the curb area. And another thing, I was talking to him about driving habits that I have. You'd appreciate some of these. I tend to treat yield signs as a stop sign to some extent because some of the brush and the obstacles in the driving view to view traffic coming toward you from various directions, there's too many blind spots that have occurred over the years with trees and various other.
Yeah.
Sign placement and things like that.
I treat each yield sign independently, depending on the intersection.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with you there. Another thing that I had, this is another, and it's a courtesy thing to me. These left turn lanes that you have when you come to an intersection area, and there's a left turn lane provided for the left turners. I stay back about 2/3 of car length so that the car next to me on the right, if it wants to turn, it can see past my front end, so I'm not blocking their view, and they have an unobstructed view. There's another benefit to this. If a semi-truck comes along or a school bus or somebody that needs that extra turning room, they have it available to them because I'm sitting back a ways. And I've seen way too many semi-trucks going around corners. I'm sure the semi drivers appreciate that. There must be only a handful of us that do this.
Yeah, you're right. There's only a handful.
I see so many people, they got to creep up to the curb. The light's red. They still want to be right there or across the line. And I never understood that.
Yeah.
You can't go, you can't move anyway unless you're going to right turn, and then you got to wait for the traffic anyhow. So what's the logic in being across that line or as close as you can to that intersection? I see no advantage to that.
Well, the logic is I want to be first. I got to get there first. I got to be available to make the turn instantly. Don't hold me up. I'm in a hurry.
Yeah, I hear you, but that's kind of the childlike thinking to me.
Yep. Yeah, but unfortunately, many adults become childlike when they get behind the wheel.
Yeah, I just thought I'd off the topics of all that other stuff bothers me, but sometimes I have to just look to other things to get my mind off. I was playing with fidget spinners last night. I can't believe how nice and meditative they are.
That was the fad 2 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I still got a bunch of them around, and they're a really cool little toy. So I just can't believe how meditative they are.
Yeah, there you go.
So, well, anyhow, have a nice morning, sir.
You too, Al.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening, and
Yep.
Thank you. Bye now.
No problem. Bye-bye now. All right. Yeah, listen. Anytime there's a discussion of driver habits, it's mostly the bad ones we talk about. Boy, there are lots of them. People on the road that have to be first, have to cut you off so they can be in front of you, even if there's absolutely nobody behind you. That always amazes me. But then again, we sit here and it's easy to judge, but are we perfect? Probably not. We probably have our own idiosyncrasies when we drive. So while we can be quick to judge and quick to point out the things we see, we should really pay attention to what we're doing too. Anyway, we'll take a pause. Lines are open for you. Give us a call on the Art Lewis Show on this Wednesday morning.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier. In Empower Your Retirement, they talk about how a well-thought-out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement. Finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
For eligible individuals 18 or older only, not available in Oregon or West Virginia. Results vary. See website for details and important safety information.
Sounding now.
A little tinny.
Okay, 2 seconds.
With hearing aids from Lively, everything is done remotely in the comfort of your home, from initial testing to adjustments.
How are they sounding now?
Fantastic. So much better. With Lively, you get premium Bluetooth-enabled hearing aids at thousands less than you'd might expect. The best hearing aid technology is now affordable and convenient. Your hearing aids are sent right to your door. And if you have any issues, we'll make adjustments 7 days a week. No charge. Ah, you people at Lively are wonderful. With Lively hearing aids, you get free shipping, 3 years of follow-up care included free, plus a 3-year warranty with loss and damage coverage. You can't lose. I hear better. Now get $100 off your hearing aids when you go to listenlively.com/radio. That's listenlively.com/radio. listenlively.com/radio.
With confusion around vaccinations, masks, and public screenings, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign, so make sure you use an accurate thermometer for your family. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them and cannot be relied on. Be vigilant. with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Can I get a weight reading on the cat in exam 3?
Zoe needs a new vet tech after their current one literally moved to a farm.
Detailed checkup is waiting.
But finding an ideal replacement takes some training.
This is like herding cats.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Schedule virtual interviews and talk to candidates right from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
McCarthy goes quarterback sneak, fights his way. He's in. Touchdown, Michigan over.
Wolverines battle the Cornhuskers at Nebraska. Coverage begins Saturday night at 6:30 on 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. By the way, next hour on Focus, we will focus on a new company called Medicare Choices. Be talking to Jeff Carrick about that. That'll be coming up on Focus right after the news at the top of the hour. But we still have time to chat with you. Something on your mind, 752-6111. Toll free in the state of Michigan, 866-790 WSGW. Outside the state or inside the state, 989-752-6111. Because most carriers, they don't charge you long distance and roaming and all that stuff anymore. So it's like a free call. So you can give us one of those calls. I want to go back to the discussion about chips and American companies building chips in this country. Think about this now. The demand is not going to go down. With electric vehicles coming on the scene at the rate they're coming on, the demand for chips is going to go up. We're going to need more plants building those chips. And we are now so dependent on foreign suppliers for so many things. Hopefully, the pandemic has taught us a lesson about that. For example, how dependent we want to be on China for the raw products that go into our medications. I don't want to be dependent on them. Maybe we'll learn something. I don't know. Tom is in Saginaw, so let's say good morning to Tom. Morning, Tom.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Good morning. Yeah, you were talking about GM there. I worked for GM for 34 years, and sometimes when they got into trouble where the parts we were putting out cost more to somebody that wanted them or stuff like that. So what they would do is they'd get together a bunch of people that run them parts and stuff and figure out a way to make the parts cheaper, okay? Now, they made the parts cheaper, but they still outsourced them. You know what I'm saying? And it come up more than one time, you know what I'm saying, that happened, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes we didn't have a say over that, you know what I'm saying? We were making the parts cheaper in the other place because we figured out ways. Anytime you go to the people that run the machines and stuff like that, they know ways to make it better for them, to make them cheaper and stuff like that, but they don't want to listen to you. They got their minds made up. They're going to buy from another company, and that's the way it works.
Yeah, has that changed at all? Let me ask you, because my understanding is that over the last, I don't know, let's pick a number, let's say 20 years, the company has been more responsive to ideas from the floor, the people that actually make those parts, that they will listen.
Yeah, yes and no, because I was what they call a troubleshooter. Okay.
Yeah.
Now they were going to do outsource. They were going to wanted new machines to do some drilling. Okay. And so they had this company made 1.5 of them. They took us over and we looked at them and stuff like that. And I told them right there, these machines are not good enough for what they're doing. And they still bought 3 of them. They put one in the plant there, and they had nothing but problems with it. The second one never got in there because they canceled it, and the third one they canceled because they had to go back to the old way of what we were doing things. Because I told them the machine, but my engineer said this: his boss told him, you buy that. It was $1 million machine or something like that. You know what I'm saying? He had no choice.
Yep.
And
and that is a problem, and that was a problem. I don't know whether I would hope they've fixed those problems, but no guarantees.
No, me too. I mean, I have no disrespect against GM at all, sir. They give me a wonderful retirement and stuff like that, and I have nothing bad to say. I just say some of the decisions was made over there. It didn't make no sense, because also in my department where we run, they give us the control of how to order parts and stuff like that out of the PCNL, they call them. They had so much parts set all over and this and that. Now I did the inventory and stuff like that for them too. And I'm thinking, why you got all these parts sitting on the aisles and stuff like that? So turned it over to our department to let us do it. So we had it down to where it was 3 days, inventory and that and this and that. And the company that made the parts, Texas Foundry, called and wanted to know if we were going out of business because we wasn't just buying parts.
And now it's on time, right? Now it's on time delivery practically. They don't stockpile those parts, do they?
Well, they what they did was they took it away from us, put it back to PCNL. Once again, here they go. They just ordered them, whether we needed them or not.
Yeah.
And I got out of there in 08.
How long have you been out of the plant?
Since 08.
08? Yeah. So you got out before the crash, huh?
Oh, no. Crash was 07.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. 08 was the bailout.
Right. But see, what people don't realize are that the union may have known, may not have known, but I was the legacy employee. So the year come around, the following year, GM made up the difference between me being a legacy employee and what they took away from me. Delphi took away from me, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't lose nothing in pay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I stayed there. And my boss said, are you crazy? I said, I'll tell you what, back in 1969 and 70, these guys stayed out for 90 days to get me what I got today.
That's right. There's history.
Everybody else jumped ship. Everybody else jumped ship. And he said, you mean this? I wasn't concerned about it. You know what I'm saying? I just stayed. And then everything worked out great.
Yeah.
So,
fantastic.
Anyways, that's a few history about
yeah. All right. Listen, Tom, I appreciate the call. Thank you, friend. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye now. That's, there's a lot of history there, and some of it's spoken, sometimes not spoken. Anyway, we thank Tom for calling. We thank all of you for participating. We're going to take our last break and then come back and finish up this hour of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. We'll be back.
Get huge savings with fuel rewards every time you fill up. Forward Shell convenience stores. Get at least 5 cents off a gallon every single fill up and earn even more when you make purchases in store. You can regularly save 10, 20, even 30 cents off a gallon, which means less money goes into your tank and more stays into your wallet. Visit fuelrewards.com to sign up and start saving today. That's Fuel Rewards at your area Forward Shell convenience stores. And remember, when you want to pay less at pub, go forward.
You wouldn't pass up 5% more time on the lake. So don't pass up on the potential to improve feed efficiency by about 5% when you feed energy mileage, as shown in recent feeding trials at leading universities.
Oh, yeah, I got one.
With farm-proven results, you've got yourself a real catch.
Today was a good day.
Enogen. Energize productivity. EnogenFeed.com.
This is the Michigan Corn Connection. Reese Kennedy is stationed in Tunis, Tunisia, in North Africa for the U.S. Grains Council.
I think when you talk about Michigan corn specifically, you look at some of the ports that spread really well to this region. And one that comes to mind is, we call it the lakes. So anything out of sort of the Toledo, Maumee area. And a lot of that really does see. And so a lot of the work that we're doing here can directly benefit the growers there in that region, because it directly impacts their ability to export and access new markets. We're looking at storage grains primarily. That is the largest export of all the co-products. Then you look at corn, gluten, meal. And then in the case of countries like Israel and Ireland, corn, gluten, feed. And then even right now, we're kind of dealing with these emerging co-products, which are the high protein DDGS or corn fermented protein products.
This is the Michigan Corn Connection. Find out more at micorn.org.
The pandemic's reminded us we live in a sea of air us with every breath. Your nose is the body's first line of defense by helping filter out allergens, bacteria, and viruses before they reach your lungs. So how do you clean your nose? Navage uses powered suction to flush out mucus and germs that cause congestion, or worse, can make you sick. Over 2 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier without drugs. Go to Navage.com or find Navage at Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Bed Bath, and Target.
All right, that'll do it for the Art Lewis Show for today. We thank you for being with us. Back tomorrow, of course, with lots more. Focus coming up after the news. Today we will focus on Medicare choices. Tell you more about that after the news from CBS, the national and international report. We'll have local news from the Great Lakes Bay region in the state of Michigan. I'll be back to talk to you right after the news.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Facet Wealth.
I'm Steve Kathan. The government's temporarily complicated student loan program. Deal was make 10 years of payments, go into military or public service, and the rest would be forgiven. But since its launch in 2007, just 5,500 borrowers have qualified for help. Air Force Major Carson Sprott told 60 Minutes he ran into trouble right from the start.
Nobody ever explained that some of your loans are coded one way, some of them are coded the other, and some of those don't qualify.
Advocate Seth Rothman says more than 9 out of 10 military people who've applied for debt relief have been turned down.
This isn't just individual people who made mistakes. This is an entire system.
The education changes could move 500,000 borrowers closer to loan forgiveness. Well, President Biden meets business leaders about the importance of lifting the debt ceiling today. CBS's Allison Keyes on the situation in the Senate.
Dropping the filibuster rule, which requires 60 of the chamber's 100 members to agree to pass most legislation, would allow Democrats to raise the nation's borrowing cap. But centrist Democratic senators, including Joe Manchin, have said they aren't willing to do that.
Facebook is pushing back on whistleblower claims that the social network puts profit ahead of public safety. Facebook's Antigone Davis on CBS Mornings.
We put people first. Positive experience on our platform. If we build a platform that is filled with hate, that is not going to actually keep people interested, and it's not something people are going to want to come to.
A new CDC report says the homicide rate in this country jumped by 30% from 2019 to 2020. Reporter Sabrina Cupid is in Atlanta.
The previous largest increase was a 20% rise recorded from 2000 to 2001, and that was because of the September 11th terror attacks. And when you look at the numbers state by state, only 3 states appeared to have a decrease in homicides last year. They were Maine, New York, and Alaska.
Well, Israel seems to be one country getting the upper hand on COVID-19.
Israeli health people seriously ill with COVID-19 has declined sharply, dropping below 500 for the first time in 2 months. Dr. Yaakov Chaim of Meir Hospital says the declining number of cases has prompted the country to begin closing coronavirus wards. It comes as nearly 40% of the population has also received a COVID booster shot. Linda Gradstein for CBS News, Jerusalem.
Well, checking Wall Street right now, the Dow is down 219 points. NASDAQ is down 30 points, and the S&P 500 is down 19.5. This is CBS News.
Facet affordable financial planning for everyday Americans. No wealth or asset minimums. Quality financial advice for every stage of your life.
Spectrum Business knows small businesses are always looking to cut expenses. That's why we offer the best value on fast internet and phone. But we wanted to do more. So, how does 1 month free sound? Get 200 megabit per second internet for $49.99 a month and business phone for $19.99 a month. And right now, you can get 1 month of internet and phone and even TV for free. Call 855-258-5887 and switch to Spectrum Business. Restrictions apply.
comfortable inside your home or business. The weather takes a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a Roof Max shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money, guaranteed with Roof Max, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859-6751.
This back-to-school update is presented by the Exergen Temporal Scanner. How do you make masks fun for your kids? Here's CBS News senior medical correspondent, Dr. Terry.
Mask, most experts will say, is the one that your child will wear. So getting them involved in that choice, picking out the colors and styles they like, or letting them decorate it is always a good thing.
The leading sign of COVID is fever, so everyone needs an accurate thermometer. Try the Exergen Temporal Scanner and learn more at exergen.com.
Hello, my name is the Reverend Blake D. Strozier, and I am the senior pastor of the Tabernacle Missionary Baptist Church. I am also a member of the Saginaw African American Pastors. I am urging all residents of Saginaw to get the COVID vaccination shot for a variety of reasons. The first reason is to protect yourself. The second reason is to protect those around you. Full vaccination affords you the opportunity to reconnect with family, neighbors, friends without fear of catching or receiving the virus. It's our shot to a sense of returning back to normalcy. So Saginaw, let's get vaccinated.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 62 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Percha. A Saginaw mother is facing a felony child abuse charge after her 4-year-old son was hospitalized after being shot by his older brother. Here's WSGW's Rick Antonio.
Police arrived around 5:30 home on the 2500 block of Hampshire Street to find the 4-year-old suffering from a gunshot wound to the torso. He was taken to an area hospital where he was listed in critical condition. The boy's mother, 24-year-old Shalonda Finch, had left the two children alone at home when she went to the store. The older boy found a handgun, which police say was not legally owned by Finch, in the house before shooting his brother. Updates have not been provided on the boys other than the injured 4-year-old surviving and that both are living with other family members. Finch was arrested on October 2nd after an August 27th arrest warrant was issued and was freed on $1,000 bond after appearing in Saginaw County Court on Monday for arraignment on one count of second-degree child. News Radio 100.5 and 790.
Northwood University will be recognizing a number of diverse achievements at this year's Distinguished Women's Awards Gala ceremony. Now in its 52nd year, the October 23rd event at the H Hotel in Midland will recognize the significant contributions of women who've made a difference in their business and community, all while upholding the vision and ethical values of Northwood University. Northwood President Kent McDonald says with this award, the university hopes to assist the next generation of women business leaders through mentorship, leadership, and scholarship, while honoring their commitment to free enterprise, the partnership of art, the management of global commerce. In addition to the noted honorees, 3 Midland area community leaders will be recognized with a Distinguished Women's Group Award, honoring their commitment to Midland County's recovery from the May 2020 flooding. WSGW News Time, 11:07.
If you've got a small business, you know there's nothing more valuable than your time. So why waste it at the post office? Stamps.com makes it easy to mail and ship right from your computer. No special equipment required. Whether you're an office sending invoices, a side hustle Etsy shop, or a full-blown warehouse shipping out orders, Stamps.com will make your life easier. Discounts on postage and shipping from USPS and UPS. And their new Rate Advisor tool lets you compare shipping rates across carriers so you always find the best option. Save time and money with Stamps.com. There's no risk, and when you go to Stamps.com and use offer code FOCUS, you'll receive a 4-week free trial plus free postage and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com. Click on the microphone at the top and enter code FOCUS. That's Stamps.com, promo code FOCUS. Stamps.com. Never go to the post office again.
WSGW News forecast is coming up next. The Detroit man was given 5 years of strict mental health probation for making death threats against Governor Gretchen Whitmer and Attorney General Dana Nessel. Court documents show Robert Tesh was sentenced Tuesday in Wayne County Circuit Court after pleading guilty but mentally ill in August. Tesh was charged last year with false report or threat of terrorism after making the threats via a social media message to an acquaintance in April 2020. Detroit police officers arrested Tesh at his home the same day the threats were made. County prosecutor Kim Worthy has said authorities concluded the message amounted to credible threats to kill. COVID-19 outbreaks are being reported in some K through 12 schools. Could statewide school mask mandates be put in place? Health reporter Dr. Deanna Lights has caught up with the new top doc for the states.
Dr. Natasha Bagdasarian is the chief medical executive at the state health department.
Even in a place that we had hoped not to be in this fall, I think that we just have to keep looking at the data, keep looking at the numbers, and changing as that data and evidence changes.
As for now, Dr. Bagdasarian encourages following safety measures to slow the spread of the virus, like social distancing, frequent hand washing, masking, and vaccination if eligible.
The discovery of 2 inactive grenades inside a vehicle led to a 7-hour closure of Canada-bound traffic on the Ambassador Bridge at the busiest border closing with the U.S. Windsor. With the U.S. Windsor grenades were found submerged in an unidentified white powdery substance, leading to a closure from around 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Monday. Police said in a news release they were thankful for the public for its patience in the matter. They say all necessary precautions were taken for the safety of the community and everyone involved during the incident. No criminal charges will be brought against the U.S. man driving the vehicle. W1110, I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Mainly cloudy today, high of 72. Tonight, cloudy and low near 58, high of 76 on Thursday. Mainly cloudy. Hours. Thursday night, cloudy, areas of showers and thunderstorms, a low near 63. On Friday, we'll have lots of clouds, areas of showers, a few storms, high of 75. Friday night, cloudy, chance of showers and storms, a low near 60. Saturday, mainly cloudy, occasional sun, high near 76. Sunday, chance of rain, high near 78. I'm meteorologist Laura Lockwood with a weatherology forecast. Right now, 61.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
Well, good morning to you, and welcome. Welcome to another edition of Focus here on WSGW. Brought to you by RoofMax, the safe, proven, and affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out about RoofMax online at roofmax.com or call Ben 859-6751, 989-859-6751. That's RoofMax with 2 X's. Today, we're going to learn about a company called Medicare Choices, and we're getting to the time when you're going to make some choices if you have Medicare. And we welcome to the program. He's sitting in the studio this morning. I get to look at him, and you get to look at him, too. We say good morning to Jeff Carrick. Jeff, good morning.
Good morning, Art.
Thanks for being with us today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Let's start with a little bit of history about Medicare Choices, the company. How did it come about and how long has it been around?
Well, I previously sold individual health insurance, and with the Obamacare and things happening in the health insurance market, I thought I needed to venture out in a few different areas. And I actually got my property and casualty license to sell auto and homeowners insurance. And also I decided that I was going to get into Medicare. And the very first year that I was in Medicare, I got into the open enrollment season late. There was only 3 weeks left out of 7. I ended up writing over 100 policies. And
in 3 weeks.
In 3 weeks. The area manager, she was on maternity leave, and I didn't even know who she was. And I got a call the middle of January. Open enrollment used to go until December 31st.
Right.
And I got a call from her, and she just asked me some small questions and stuff like that. I just want to introduce myself. I was off on maternity leave, and finally she got to the big question is, how in the heck did you do that in 3 weeks? She found out I was working with 8 other agents, and she says, well, do you think you could teach those other 8 agents how to do what you do? And I said, sure. And I ended up with my first, what they call a field marketing organization contract with a major carrier here in the Medicare market. And from there, I recruited more agents over the years. And now we have 60 plus agents throughout the state of Michigan.
It would seem, being someone who has Medicare, that at this time of year, we are inundated with advertising from various companies saying their Advantage plan is this, that, the other thing. This plan is better than that plan. Are there too many choices?
No, I don't think there's too many choices. But one of the things that Medicare Choices does different than most of the other agents, I train all 60 agents and so forth. We are very, very thorough. And I can just tell you a story that just happened last week with my daughter. She had a client come in, it was 10 o'clock. She was warned in advance that this guy could be a little bit difficult. And as soon as he got in there, he said, I'm just letting you know up front, I'm sitting down talking with you now, and I got another appointment with another agent at one. My daughter said, and a great answer was, great, the more education you get about Medicare, the better off you're going to be. And so she presented the plan. We have a hybrid Medicare plan that you could call probably 100 different other Medicare agents. You're not even going to hear about it unless you happen to call one of my 60 agents. She presented the plan. He went to see the other agent at 1 o'clock. And unlike my daughter that asked all of his prescription coverage, all of his doctors to make sure all the doctors were in network, make sure all of his prescriptions were covered. And he was taking one medicine, expensive. While the other agent didn't represent the hybrid plan, never told him about it. Also, he never ran any of his prescriptions and so forth. And he recommended a carrier, which is, we're independent. We have all the carriers in the state of Michigan. I don't like to mention any names. But then he came back to my daughter the next day and he said, I talked to that agent. He didn't ask me about my prescriptions, or he never presented a hybrid plan. And he said, I want to go with you. Go ahead and write me up. And he was doing that. He was telling her that the other company that the agent had recommended was a company that one medication that he took would have cost him $400 a month for that medication. The program that my daughter put him on cost him $22 a month.
Yeah.
For $400.
All right, we're going to take a break. Hang on. We're talking to Jeff Carrick from Medicare Choices. More about that when we return here on Focus. It's time to play the WSGW Fall Into Cash contest presented by Herman Hisson Company in downtown Bay City. Right now, you can qualify to win the daily cash prize of $1,000 by entering the following word online at WSGW.com. And the word this hour is pile, P-I-L-E. Look at the size of that pile. It's an Alpha Media company-wide contest. Must be 18 or older to play. One winner chosen each day. Complete details at WSGW.com. Fall Into Cash contest presented by Herman Hisson Company on WSGW. We'll be back with our guest after these notes.
We're proud. You and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier and empower your retirement. They talk about how a well thought out financial plan between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services, Advisors Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
It all started some 36 years ago, and tradition continues. Johnson's Giant Pumpkin Farm on North Portsmouth Road is ready for all ages. Whether it's your first picture with a pumpkin, a chance to see a farm animal, or maybe it's that 100th donut you're about to eat. A day at Johnson's Giant Pumpkin Farm is perfect fall family fun. Take the challenge with the 13-acre corn maze, or the little ones can tackle the soybean maze or the sunflower maze. The huge craft store is open with more vendors than ever. Mums, pumpkins, gourds, corn stalks, straw, and other fall decorations. A concession stand with plenty of seating all around the ground. Of course, fresh donuts, fresh daily, cinnamon and sugar, plain or frosted, and special flavors on the weekends. Farm animals with acres and acres to wander. See the trebuchet, that huge pumpkin chucker in action on weekends, along with the kids' barrel train ride. Check out all the special events and rides every week by going to johnsonsgiantpumpkins.com or like them on Facebook. Located at 4715 North Portsmouth Road, 3 miles east of I-75 on the Caro exit. Open till Halloween. Oh, and did we say donuts?
Tired of living paycheck to paycheck? What if it didn't take years or even months to dramatically improve your net worth? What if you could do it virtually overnight? It's like a financial wormhole. You know, something that moves you from one side of the universe to the other in the blink of an eye. But in this case, it's moving you from barely paying your bills to financial freedom in a snap. Learn more at financialwormholes.com. Do it today, and tomorrow you could start living the good life. Financialwormholes.com. That's financialwormholes.com.
Listen to this station anytime. Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show, DOJ thinks attacking a courthouse is fine, but yelling at a school board is terrorism. You will submit now.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW. Direct from the Stone Specialist Studios. This is 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you here on Focus, talking to Jeff Carrick from Medicare Choices. And before I get too far along and forget to ask this most important question, if people are interested in Medicare Choices, your company, and how to get a hold of you and how to get information, how do they go about doing that?
Just give us a call and we can set up a time to sit down with you at your convenience. It could be in your home, our office here in Saginaw, or at a general location. But the telephone number to call is area code 989-899-7820. And we can set up an appointment, sit down with you, and help you on your Medicare program.
Now, you mentioned you have 60 agents, so I assume they're spread out.
Yeah, we started out down in the Detroit area, Shelby Township, and we are very well established down there. People know who we are. I'm originally from the Saginaw area. I graduated from Swan Valley High School, and I just moved back to Saginaw May of this year. So there's not a lot of people that know about Medicare Choices in the Tri-City areas, and we're basically trying to put our company's name on the map.
Do you have an office here?
We are. We have an office at Mid-Valley Insurance out in Shields.
Oh, yeah.
We're part of the Mid-Valley Insurance, and we're also looking for another location here in Saginaw.
So if someone comes in and they're in the window and they're looking at changing, or maybe they're brand new to Medicare, what do they need to bring with them? What should they expect in that first conversation with you?
Well, first thing I'd like to point out is we are a no-fee service. It doesn't cost our clients one penny to give us a call to analyze all the different things that they might need in their Medicare program. What you need to bring with you is your Medicare card. We would need your Medicare number, your Part A, Part B effective date. Also, very, very important is a list of all your prescriptions because the prescription coverage inside the Medicare Advantage plan is sometimes more important than the actual health plan itself because a lot of them are very close as far. Also a list of all their doctors. Most people don't want to change doctors, so we want to make sure that their doctors that they're seeing now are in network.
I think, and the other decision is whether or not you want an Advantage plan or a supplement plan and separate prescription plan. There are so many choices. You have a great name for your company.
I thought of the name Medicare Choices, and I like it because it tells clients exactly what we do. We represent Medicare plans, and you have choices. And yes, we do offer Medicare supplement plans, also known as Medigap plans. That would be like your Plan F, your Plan G, your Plan N. And then we also represent the Medicare Advantage plans. We're really big on the zero premium, no cost PPO plans here in this area. And there's 5 different carriers out there that have those. Option is what we call the hybrid Medicare plan. And just like car, the hybrid car is a blend between gas and electric. While our hybrid Medicare plan, it acts like a Medigap plan, and it has some of the features of the Medicare Advantage plan. So it's a blend between the Medicare supplement and the Medicare Advantage plan. And what the hybrid plan does for you, unlike Medigap plans, they're age rated. What that means is they go up each and every year for the rest of your life because they're age rated. With our hybrid Medicare plan, once you're into the plan, we got you locked. Never, ever, ever had a premium increase.
Wow. Again, give everybody the phone number.
Area code 989-899-7820.
Well, Jeff, been a pleasure. We'll have to do this again down the road. Fascinating stuff.
Oh, I got so much to talk about. I got plenty more for you, Art.
All right. Well, we'll have to figure out how to find all that information out. Jeff, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're more than welcome. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Okay. Jeff Carrick from Medicare Choices, and the window comes up, folks. If you're on Medicare, you might want to take a look. We'll take a break, come back, move over to find out what the markets are doing from Baird & Company after these notes.
Service. It's hard to find these days. M&R Garage Door has built their business on it. M&R Garage Door has been taking care of their customers in the Tri-Cities for over 50 years. M&R can repair any brand garage door or opener, including all residential and industrial doors. Call them today for all your service needs. M&R has garage doors and openers for every style and every budget. Call M&R Garage Door at 989-894-0971 for all of your garage door and opener needs. 989-894-0971.
Hi, this is Mary in Frankenmuth. It's time to warm up your home, and we don't mean the temperature. We're talking about making your home more inviting all year round with upgrades like window treatments, quartz or laminate countertops, hardwood, tile, luxury vinyl flooring, carpeting, and much more. We handle the best brands like Mohawk, Shaw, Hunter Douglas window treatments, Harndine, Armstrong, and so many more. To put it all together, our experienced design team at Warden Interior will help you find just the right look, catering to your personal taste for unique designs that will warm your home in any season. And our master installers make sure all the work is done right. See more at Warden Interiors, 355. See all we can do to make your home shine this fall and every season afterwards. Warden Interiors on North Main Street in Frankenmuth will help you bring it all together.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do. But plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered to individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Motown legends, The Temptations, The Four Tops. Saturday night, November 27th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Temps and Tops together again. Tickets start at $34. On sale now at the Soaring Eagle, at Eagles Landing box offices, or online at etix.com. T&T together again. The legendary Motown sound, November 27th at Soaring Eagle Casino.
Just where legendary ain't no woman like.
Spend part of Thanksgiving weekend with the Temps and Tops at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
The way you do, the things you do, the way you do, oh baby.
Motown's Fab Five and Famous Four, The Temptations and Four Tops. Tickets on sale now. Details at SoaringEagleCasino.com.
All right, that'll do it for Focus. We thank Jeff for being with us from Medicare Choices. Time to move over to Baird & Company for our ticker tip of the day, and that is where we find Steve Anderson. Steve, good morning to you.
And good morning to you too, sir.
How are the markets doing this Wednesday?
Well, they're a little bit weak again today. Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 337 points, putting it at 33,980. Volume there is 313 million shares. The Nasdaq's down by 76, putting it at 14,356. Volume is 323 million shares.
And your ticker tip for the day?
Well, I hate to bring it up, but it's already the fourth quarter. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And because of that, it's probably time to start beginning to think about doing some year-end tax planning.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, I figured you did. One of the things that you need to do is take a look at your portfolio and see what you've already taken as far as capital gains. If you have mutual funds, you'll have to take a look and see what do you think they're going to be giving as capital gains distribution before the year end. Telling us here pretty soon. And if you're looking at an individual stock, let's say that you've got a stock that does happen to be down. You happen to buy it, earlier this year or whatever you did. The price is down, but you still like the stock. But you still need to take a tax loss. Well, you can sell the stock now, buy the same stock back in 31 days, and take the loss, establishing a lower cost basis. If you're afraid that the stock might go up during that 31-day time period, which will be the main fear everybody will have, you can buy more now, sell the higher basis stock in 31 days to accomplish the same thing. But you do have to be careful, because if you buy the stock back either within 31 days before or 31 days after, you will have accomplished what is called a wash sale, and all of the tax benefits would be lost.
No good.
So, yeah, be kind of careful. You don't want that to happen. So, you probably want to talk to your advisor at some point.
Yeah.
And see, what do you have that might fall into what should you do about it? And do hit that button that says realized capital gains somewhere, whether you have it as a button or you have it as a 7-digit number to call your advisor. Figure it out, because people are, this year in particular, kind of surprised at the amount of gains that they may have had. Last year was a good year for gains. This year, even better. So,
how do we get a hold of you for some help?
Well, you can call us right here at Baird & Company in Saginaw. Our phone number is 790-5724. Midland, 839-9035. Or you can find us on the web at rwbaird.com, and then look for whichever office you wish to talk to.
All right, Steve. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you down the road.
Sounds good. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Steve Anderson at Baird & Company with our ticker tip of the day. The Farm Show with Farm Director Terry Henney will be along next.
It could